Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another show on the channel. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm wedded to you guys. I see you guys way more, or I talk to you guys way more than I talk to my girlfriend. Which do I prefer? You know, there's a question there. But listen, everybody, Sean Dyche has been sacked. What are you talking about, Connor? Well, we do have a second channel if you are interested. Link is in the description below. I've done my reaction to Sean Dyche, and there will be Sean Dyche being sacked 3 hours before a football game. Can you believe it? But there will be general football matters on that channel if you want to check that out, and my thoughts on other teams that had started up, and we've nearly got 1,000 subscribers over there as well. So shout out to you guys, and a solid 10K on my first video. So thank you so much. But I am absolutely delighted to be joined in this one this evening. Sorry, a little bit later than normal. We advertised it at 6, but it's probably better for people at this time. Anyway, it's 7:30. Brownie is in the building. And get some of your thoughts in the comment section. Good evening, lads. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Farke to Everton. Connor, who says no. Good evening, Connor. Hope you're well. Interested in Brownie's views on Mez. Yeah, aren't we all? Right. Okay, right. Let's get Mr. DB in after his comments the other day, which I'm absolutely eager to get him in for. DB, how we doing, mate? Wrong show.
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Well, how am I? I don't know. Yeah, as you've probably seen, mate, there's been about 855 videos out the last couple of days. But yeah, I don't know, mate. Look, we're top of the table. I'm all right on that front. A few other bits I think we need to get into. What's going on in your world, mate? As in the footballing world. What? Obviously, you went to Hull, presumably.
It's like you say, we're still top of the league.
Yep. True.
Should we be more points ahead? Definitely.
Yeah.
We definitely should be. Listen, the big talking points, Melier.
I just know where I know where you're gonna go because I know you so well. I know this is oh, by the way, you're taking over Everton, mate. Do you fancy it? Do you fancy the gig?
No. On that Daniel Farke to Everton who says no, probably Daniel Farke.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think you're going to go for. Sorry, I didn't finish what I was saying. Did I? I think you're going to go for a general standpoint. Where are we in the league? Blah blah blah. And you're right. Bang on. I think I retweeted something you put.
I'll be totally honest, and this might make people laugh. I dropped my phone in the bath, so I've had no phone for about 4 or 5 days, which has actually been quite nice. So I've not seen anything really on social media.
Okay.
So I don't even know what you've reposted. I'm chuckling to find out what it is. There'll be a punchline in there where Melier probably dropped his phone in the bath as well, or something like that.
I'll show you, mate. Here we go. We've got it up now. Go on my Twitter. So obviously after the comments today with Farke saying he's loyal and he stayed through with Leeds. Chelsea, if it is to go and be on the bench, I'm not interested in that. If it is to be number one, of course, you can't say I'm not interested in Chelsea. That was last year. So I just tweeted what you put there. Off you pop. Would rather have Billy Bremner statue in that all season.
I mean, listen, you know me. I say it as I see it, and some people think, oh, you can't say that. The professional footballers. So I've tried to be as nice as I can this season because I don't think he's been as bad this season. But where we're setting the bar.
I was going to say I was going to say you're being extreme. I didn't pull you up on it last week, but I thought I'm going to leave him to it. He's been very kind. I mean,
people say, like I was having a chat with my mate where he goes, oh, people going, oh, he's made a great save at Stoke. I mean, goalkeeper save shot, like newsflash. You know what I mean? That's his. I don't want to sound Roy Keane, but that is his job.
True, though, isn't it? It's true.
You know what I mean? But that's where we're at, where every save now he makes, it's, oh, what a save. Well, is it? I mean, I remember Leeds, you mentioned it on one of the shows with Leeds posted, what a save or something by Mel. He literally floored the ball. That was it. And the bar with goalkeepers for Leeds in recent years, I mean, Kiko, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, Felix Wiewald, Silvestri.
Yep.
Our bar on goalkeepers is that low that we are glamorizing everything that we see. I made a comment earlier in the season, another game where you could have put the steward in net, and I got some people saying, "Oh, that's been a bit harsh on Melier." Well, not really. Some games he doesn't have a shot to save. Blackburn, I remember coming away from Blackburn on New Year's Day thinking, do you know what? And it's not necessarily Melier's fault, but it's another game where a team have had one shot and scored. And how many times in, I'd say, the last couple of years can we say we're having 17, 18, 19 shots and finding it really difficult to score? The other team will get one shot on target and it goes in. And I'm not pinning every shot on target on Melier, but there's you could make. I remember Bamford having a video made of all his misses. You could make a compilation up of Melier of errors over the last couple of years. And yeah, goalkeepers will make mistakes, and when goalkeepers make a mistake, it ends up in the back of the net. There's just a lot. I remember when he made his 100th appearance, and I passed a comment where it's probably 95 too many. We're now at a stage where he's made 200 appearances. I just don't think we've seen the progression that we all thought we would do with him. I really don't. And it might sound harsh, but people will call out Farke and we should be more points ahead. Farke can't legislate for him dropping a ball in a goal at Sunderland. Farke can't legislate for him clawing a ball back into the pitch off a crossbar.
Hey Brownie, do you know what he can do though? He can take him out the firing line, mate.
He can. And Sam Allardyce did do that when he came in for the last 4 games of the season. He took him out and he played Robled. Was it any better? We got no points. I've seen comments post-Hull. Can Carl Darlow be any worse? Well, what was the point of signing him if he's not trusted to play? If Cairns isn't, Cairns, I keep hearing he's great in the dressing room. Well, again, I don't want to sound Roy Keane, but what does he do? Does he tell jokes? Does he sit doing that's what Roy Keane?
Does he play cards?
Does he sit doing card tricks and making balloon animals and things? Like what? I don't know. And if these two aren't trusted, then the transfer window's open. Go sign a goalkeeper. But we sound like a broken record with me, you, every man, woman, and the dog have been saying a number 9 or a number 10 and a goalkeeper. It seems like for the last 3 or 4 years.
Do you know what it is? It's like you've gone for a run. You're a big runner yourself, aren't you? And you go for a run, and it's like you know where the finishing line is, but you've gone out on a big bender the night before, right? You've gone out on a big bender. You're like the favourite to win the race, but you've had 15 pints the night before. So you're going into the race, you're a bit hungover, you're thinking flipping out, and you put in a little bit of a laggy performance, and you might, you're giving the opportunity to the other 4 or 5 to catch you up. And that's what it feels like with Leeds United right now. Just don't go on the piss. Just don't go on the piss the night before. It's simple. You know what I mean? You can sort that.
Do you know the telling? I don't think he'll play against Harrogate. So it's come at a good time for Farke where we can take him out.
Yeah.
Because, you could put me or you against Harrogate in that and it should be all right. The telling bit for me was the reaction of the players to that second goal.
Yeah.
Rodon's reaction literally looked like, well, I thought we were going to kill him. It looked like he'd just completely had enough of it. You saw Firpo's reaction at Sunderland.
Which he was getting hammered for, by the way. He was getting hammered for that, Firpo, for reacting like that.
He's a defender. He will pride himself on clean sheets. And
he scored, didn't he? He scored the second one, didn't he?
And obviously people won't want to hear this, but he'll have a clean sheet bonus in his contract, stuff like that. It'll cost him money well, they'd already conceded, but Pirot, I've never seen him show any emotion, and even Pirot had emotion coming out of him. It's what are your thoughts on it? But I think Leeds have been really stubborn with it. I really do. I think
they've
turned down money for him in the summer, or they've made him stay, and I just think they're trying to drive a price tag up or whatever it is. And it's got to the point now where, we're on 53 points.
Yeah.
I even throw the Portsmouth game at him. People don't seem to remember back to Portsmouth at the start of the season. They had 3 shots and they all went in. One was a penalty, granted, but the one in the first half at the Kop end, if he stands still, he saves it. It's straight at him.
Yep.
Leeds
1-0 up at that time, aren't they?
Cruising. Yep. Absolutely cruising. you can go back through the last 2-3 years and you can attribute, I'd probably say a good 25 points.
Brownie Hull had 5 shots on target. They had 5 shots on target, 3 of them going. I'm blaming him for all 3. I am. All 3, it's his fault. Blaming him.
The third one, I mean,
honestly, mate, it's not a good header from Byram. He's come to punch it. He's completely missed it. He's gone.
I'd like to know if there's any communication. You'll never know, but I'd like to know if Byram had a shout, if there was any communication towards him, because he's come a long way out and then he's not set for the shot. The second one, I mean, I just don't know what he's doing. And the first one, I mean, if that were Kiko Casilla, there'd be pitchforks out. There's no different to what Kiko used to do. He used to just go wandering.
Someone say on social media, it's not a popular thing to say, but he's cost us more points than Kiko Casilla.
And I remember getting slaughtered for saying that 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and here we are, two years down the line, and it's still happening. I mean,
people just don't seem to value it. People just don't seem to value the position as well. It feels like a number 10 and number 9 is of the most importance, even though outfield we're looking pretty. I mean, we've scored the most goals in the division, which I think is a good indictment of it, you know. And the goalkeeper, Joe, I had a Sheffield United fan on yesterday about Brownie, and we're talking, and I had a neutral championship fan on as well the other day, and we're having a chat about it and offline, and they were saying literally the only thing between you and promotion is that goalkeeper, and everybody's looking at it. Every other championship fan is looking at it and saying that's going to be Leeds' downfall. They all know we're the best team. They all know we've got arguably the best coach. Arguably, I know a lot of people would dispute that, but you know, there's a lot of people who think Leeds' downfall now going towards the back end of the season is it's going to be done internally.
Look at corners. The majority of corners or free kicks, they get whipped straight onto Melier because they know something could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out. He's probably mentioned it on some show or anything, but it'd be interesting to find out why Sam Allardyce dropped him for them 4 games. Was it a confidence thing? Was it he just didn't rate him at all?
No, he just said he was. I watched the podcast. He said he wasn't good enough. That's what he said. Blanket.
He just doesn't seem to have grown's the wrong word because he's massive. But I don't know. Keepers, you see keepers in tunnels and you think, like mountains and that. I mean, Melier's built like a McDonald's straw. I mean, just doesn't seem to. You've played football. People in the comments will have played football at any level, and when you've got a dominant keeper, it just breeds confidence. And I don't know. You can tell from that that image of the players looking down at him that there's definitely a friction there. Was it just because it was so costly? It wasn't because it was so late on. No, it was a deciding goal. It was the second goal. We were still winning. So they've shown that reaction towards him when Leeds are still winning. Now, the other problem that we seem to be having is conceding late goals. I don't know why. I mean, Blackburn, Hull, 3 goals in the last 10 minutes in both of them games. I can think of Sunderland. I didn't think Leeds had this in them this season of, I don't want to say falling apart, but it just seems a bit edgy in the last few weeks.
I just wanted to fire you towards some of the comments that were said by Daniel Farke today. I just want to get your thoughts on this as well. He said on Melier, so it's a fact that Carl will play the cup game, always the plan. Elan needs a rest after playing every minute during the festive period. I know everyone is angry after Hull, so was I, but it's never possible to lead an emotion club like this in panic mode. He was disappointed with his last performance. He is self-critical. I like this. He's a 24-year-old man who came as a teen, always loyal to the club, during interest in him, stayed to pay something back and win that trust. Named as best goalkeeper in the division. It would be madness to change or doubt our number 1 right now. We are top of the league with 60% of the games played after a perfect festive period. We would be the first team to panic about this.
I mean, from that, for me, he's going to be our number 1 for the second part of the season. On the flip side, he's not going to come out and slaughter him. He's just not going to do that. No manager would come out and slaughter your number 1, especially if you don't have one lined up.
Yeah.
Do I think it will cost us? It will cost us promotion? No, I still think Leeds will go up. Could it be a lot more comfortable? Yeah, of course it could. But from them comments, that's the first time I've seen him. I've not really seen anything today. Sounds like Melier is our number one, and we've got to get on with it.
Yeah, I think with him, he called him the best keeper in the division last season, of which me and you obviously had problems with, and I think he does feel like within Brownie, he's got a bit of a stubborn streak in him, hasn't he? And it feels like he wants to almost be proven right with what he's suggested there. From what I've heard as well, which you don't get told a lot on the channel, but spouts of it, the goalkeeping staff rate Melier. They've been doing additional training sessions with him to try get him up to that next level. You sort of hear this, and then 2 weeks later, he's putting performances in against Hull. I mean, I think this is the problem. This is what I was talking about with the hangover analogy, mate. I think the issue right now is what we're potentially going to face is Leeds United, who can move away. We can move away from the pack 100%. I think we've got more than enough. And this is kind of why, I do think Farke's actually got the constructed squad right now to be able to win the division, because we're top right now. We've had a goalkeeper who's been like a New York bagel for the majority of the season. I feel like it's I feel now that is just the obvious position. And for me, Carl Darlow doesn't have to be a superstar. He doesn't have to be someone who's going to be the likes of Cooper and Trafford and all the keeps at the top of the division. He just has to come in and not make mistakes. And if we don't make mistakes, we go up even at the back. And I think we just make it more comfortable. I think the fan base is having a problem now, Brownie, because Hull City and having a goalkeeper do things like that. It's not. That doesn't really happen to top two teams, mate. I can't think of many top two teams that have had calamities like this goalkeeper produces on a 50-50 regularity and go up. And that's the only thing where I think there's a little bit of panic, because it doesn't normally happen with promoted teams. Listen,
this fan base will always panic. This fan base will always have an issue, no matter whether it's a goalkeeper, left back, right back, centre mid. This fan base, me included, will always find something to moan about. It's just because we're so passionate and enthralled by our club. Yeah. I've had the same standpoint on him all along, and we've gone up with him before. He got promoted with him in net. He was still making mistakes that season. Yeah, it's interesting what you say about Darlow, because there's a lot of games this season where we haven't had many shots to face. So I can't sit here and say we could put a Stewart in net and then say, well, maybe not Darlow, because some games, what does our goalkeeper do? Takes goal kicks. Genuinely, some games, Melier is literally just playing out from the back. That is it. And sometimes he don't even take the goal kick. Strike puts it down and plays it. So, it not great for the show, but it sounds like a pointless conversation off the back of Farke's comments. It just sounds like he's going to be number one. But I mean, Darlow could play against Harrogate, could have a blinding game. You never know how the game's going to go. His distribution could be good, could make a couple of good saves. And then is
it bad management? Do you think it's bad management from Farke, Brownie, in a sense of he's essentially saying there I mean, how I've felt with him. Last season, there's an argument we should have gone in the summer window and gone and got a goalkeeper. I think there's a proper argument there. Johansson was available, Cooper was available, really cheap, right? We go into the season, he's never going to do it. But after what happened last season, where me and you've admitted he was poor, I think after that Portsmouth game, I think there was a genuine opportunity to drop him. Sunderland, I think he had to be dropped, wasn't dropped again.
Yeah.
This game, he has to be dropped again, and he's lucky that he's got this cup game coming up. But it's not really a good message to Darlow, is it, Brownie, either? It's almost saying to Carl Darlow, mate, you ain't getting in no matter what happens. I think Melier could score 3 own goals, against Harrogate, and even if he was starting, and I don't think Darlow would come in. And it's not a great message, is it?
Earlier, it's really good timing, the cup game. It gets him out the firing line. I totally agree. I'm Cardallo. I'm sat there thinking, what on earth do I need to do to play a game of football? You don't know what he was told when he came to the club. He might have been told, look, Ilhan Melier is number one. He'll always be number one. You're going to be number two. Doubt that'll have happened. But you just don't know. It's an interesting one. Why people are so funny on the goalkeeper, because any other position on the pitch, if you were making mistakes to the rate he is, you wouldn't play. As a centre forward, you've seen it with Puro and Joseph. They've been in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
If you're not taking chances, you're not playing. And
it's all across the pitch. It's all across the pitch, though, mate. It's like Ramazani and Solomon. It's the midfield. It's all across the pitch, apart from the goalkeeper. It's completely bizarre.
Yeah, and it's not just at Leeds. It's any club. Like any club, you never really see the keeper get bombed. I mean, even Kiko, he came in halfway through this. We've done it before. He came in halfway through the season and took over from Bailey Peacock-Farrell and didn't go up. We got beat in the playoffs against Derby. It'd be really interesting to see the team selection.
Michael says, Connor, I said earlier, Brownie, he needs to score a hat-trick against Harrogate and needs a couple of assists now too after the press conference. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see people still backing Melier.
Oh, they've all turned now, mate. They've all turned.
Everybody turned now.
Everyone's turned.
I've not really seen much of social media.
They've all turned. Yeah.
It were quite deflating, the 3-3 at Hull. It's one of them games where I'm sure everybody was the same, just wanted to switch off from football for a few, not even think about football for a few days, because it's a game where you think, do you know what? This is our time where they're all playing each other to create that gap and make it comfortable and nice for ourselves, not create headaches.
I don't think anyone could believe it. Like my friends, anyway, who were neutral supporters, they couldn't believe it that we'd completely balls that up with 5-10 minutes to go. That's staggering, really.
But we're talking about a manager, because I can see people aren't happy with him, who's had 2 promotions. He's got to a playoff final. He's top of the league. He's got the highest win percentage of any manager over 200 games in the Championship. Suggests he knows what he's doing.
I'm just hoping that this isn't going to bite him on the arse. I'm really hoping that this, because I think it's a simple move.
It could be.
Bite him on the arse.
So playing
devil's advocate.
Yeah. He puts Darlow in.
Yep.
Darlow messes up in the first game. What's he do then?
I'm still sticking with Darlow. Because I don't think he's got. I mean, Brownie, you've known about Carl Darlow for a while. I don't think we're both enamored with him as a goalkeeper, but in his career, he's not known for making mistakes. He's had 3 good appearances, 3 arguably man of the match appearances for Wales. I know it's different, Brownie. I know it's different. I get that completely, but he's not a goalkeeper renowned for mistakes. But yeah, if he made a mistake, it wouldn't be ideal. But
I used to live with Carl.
Yeah,
I used to live with him, and it'd be great to see him in goal. I just personally feel, well, he said it. Daniel Farke said it. He's not going to switch it. He is not going to switch it up.
The Welsh lads will be talking.
Well, I didn't even think about that until you said that. Joe Rodon was very animated when it happened. Not something that's crossed my mind whatsoever until you've just said it. I've not even put that 2 and 2 together.
If we were playing football and we knew each other quite well, and we had a centre-back who was ballsing up all the time, and we had one on the bench who we thought was going to be in there, we'd be texting each other, wouldn't we? We'd be saying, how is he not getting in this team? You would be, wouldn't you?
Of course you would. It happens. People have group chats, WhatsApp messages, laughing and joking. I can't imagine that dressing room at Hull the other day was a nice place to be in after that game. If it was a one-off isolated incident, you kind of just rub it under the carpet, don't you? But like I've said, any other position on the pitch, you're getting pulled out of the team if you're constantly making mistakes. I
think Carlos is bang on here as well. If Melier has another mistake, I think it can get toxic. I don't know if he'd get booed, Carlos. I don't think that's the Leeds way. I don't think there is that. I can't ever remember that happening, to be honest. Maybe in the League One days. But I think I remember Bianchi. I remember Bianchi getting booed once, but I don't think he'd get booed, but I think it'd get a lot more vitriolic. I do think that.
Yeah, I'm just going to respond to a comment about what Farke's done with Leeds. If you can cast your mind back to August of his first season away at Birmingham, I remember being there. We had Shackleton, Gelhardt, God knows who else playing. The team had been ripped to shreds throughout the summer. We then had to rebuild a team, and the team didn't really get rebuilt until late September, October. We were 17 points behind, and we got within 2 of Leicester. Faded at the end. He then had to go through a summer of Somerville going, Archie Gray going, Rutter going right at the end of the transfer window. His 3 main players, and had to rebuild again, and we're sat top of the league. If I'm him, I'm sat home thinking I'm doing a bloody good job.
Yeah, I mean, if as well, I think if I wonder, penny for the 49ers thoughts. I mean, maybe just Farke's turned around and he called him the best keeper in the division last season. So maybe he genuinely believes that. I don't know how, but maybe he just genuinely believes that, and we've just got to ride with that on that front as well. Maybe that's just his thoughts.
Listen, the stats don't even back that up. That he's the best goalkeeper in the division. I think the stats say that he's probably one of the worst. But a manager's not going to come out and slaughter him. Really not. What if he's down on confidence? Slaughtering in public is going to make not going to be any benefit to the situation. If whatever line of work you're in, if you're at work and whether you're a postman, work in a factory, butcher, candlestick mate, whatever you are, if you're down in the dumps and your boss comes to you and hammers you, you just shrink even further into your chair and just think, I can't be bothered with this. So it's not football's no different. Well,
Scott says this is like rinse and repeat with this team. Different manager, different board, same scenario. We don't buy in January. Manager burns out players. Manager burns our players out. Players need replacing. It is bad management. Yeah.
Why don't we have a look at our recent January transfer signings in the last 2 seasons and see how well they've done? Can we? Okay. Because the first one that springs to mind is John Kevin Augustine. That one went marvellously. Okay. Trying to think what we did last January. Connor Roberts barely played.
Connor Roberts, yeah. So we'll go 2023. A quick look. So let me try and find it. Maybe detailed would help. I'll tell you what, transfer date. Let's go. Transfer date, winter. So 23. Yeah, so Connor Roberts came in. Darko JB went out. Oh, no, sorry. Perkins and JB came back. And then you had quite a few going, to be fair. Obviously, Jed went back, didn't they? Helder Costa, Paveda, Ayling went.
So we had a weak January last year, didn't we?
We had a weak January the season before, 22, 23. Rutter came in, which obviously didn't work well because he was getting hammered, wasn't he?
Verba came in, was good.
Yeah, he was good.
McKennie.
Awful.
So, I mean, we're all saying make signings, make signings, make signings. We've just reeled off the last 2. Rutter came good in the next season, but other than that, not been one good one.
Yeah, it's been poor.
I've seen Burnley are signing this and Sheffield United are signing that. It's still not better than our squad.
It's not. Where
I am on board with everybody else, where saying Farke has to get us promoted because the squad is the best. They make signings, but who are you leaving out? Other than the goalkeeper, which I take on board, would be good if we went and signed out a good, solid goalkeeper for the second half of the season. But other than that, what position are you swapping out? I mean, Ramazani can't even get in the team.
I mean, that is. I know. He's, by the way, post injury, he's had 1 start in 11. He's had 0 minutes in his last 2 games. So that, I mean, you look at Daniel Farke there. He's got the utensils, Brownie. He's got the arsenal to go up this year. This is it. We've got a squad of 24. Which is, I heard him say the other day, and I've been banging on about this, and everyone in the chat and everyone on the channel will be sick of me saying it. He said the other day that we've got a young squad, keeps mentioning youth. The average age is 25. It's gone right the way up, and that's been aided by players like, Verba being back, Gila Voggi coming in. So the average age is decent. Rodon's in there now as well as a permanent sign. He's 27, isn't he? But Leeds have got a decent average age. It's not one of the youngest whatsoever. And you look at that squad, mate, we've got 24 players, but the 49ers for me have recruited so well, Brownie, because we've got a small squad, but we've got quality in depth. You look at that midfield, that midfield when it's fully fit. Grove back on the pitch today on the training pitch. You got Grove, you got Ampadu, you got Tanaki, you got Rothwell. You know, who else am I missing out?
You look in the forward lines, and you've got James, Nonto, Ramazani, Aronson, Pirot. Who's coming to? Nobody is coming to Leeds and thinking, I'm playing.
No, and this is the thing, and this is where you bang on, and this is where I get it's the we spoke about this before, and it's the shiny new toy thing. They've recruited really well. We've been quite lucky, to be fair, with injuries. I know the 2 starting centre mids were out, but then because they'd recruited so well, Tanaka and Rothwell came in, and there was an argument that we're even better. So you look at the wing options: Solomon, Ramazani. You've got Nonto and James on the other side. Aronson obviously is by himself, but Brownie. You could get Nonto in that 10. He's played in the number 10 for Sheffield Wednesday. I think against Sheffield Wednesday earlier on in the season. I
didn't even mention him. That's how crazy our squad is. I didn't even mention Solomon, who I think has been really good lately.
But that's the thing, Brand, is there's a constant excuse to facilitate, in my opinion, the manager, which isn't on. It's for me, it's not on. I think the board have suited him out with the side, and that's why there's so much pressure on him right now to get promoted. I think there's more than enough there, and that is signified, Brownie, by the fact we're top of the division right now, and we've got a Polo in net who throws the ball in his own net. Do you know what I mean? This is,
and despite all that, we're top of the league. This horrendous manager who's everybody's saying we need a 9, we need a keeper. He's not very good at this. He's not very good at that. Well, we're top of the league with not being good.
And as well, everyone in the chat, I'm interested to hear what you think. But when you're talking about a number 9, because I can see Dormston here saying, talk up front, Brownie, you're wrong, my friend. We definitely need a 9. None of you mentioned it. Dormston, if we're to get a 9. Tell me how these dominoes have got to fall then, because Bamford right now, he's out for 4 weeks again, Brown. I don't know if you saw that. He's out with a hamstring. But if he's still in the squad, picking up what 40 grand, I know I'm trying not to focus on that.
I'm just thinking of something I tweeted about 18 months ago. I said if he was a horse, he'd have been put down.
2 million quid, mate. 2 million quid I'll earn this year. 2 million quid. I don't ever see him in a Leeds United shirt. But yeah, you've got to look at what's happening with Pat Bamford. We can't have Pat Bamford in the squad right now. If you're bringing in another number 9, you've still got Joe Gelhardt on your books. You've got Peru there. You've got Joseph there. And in all fairness, lads, we are still scoring. We are still scoring goals. And you've got 2 different strikers in Peru and Joseph. I don't think scoring goals has been the problem. Scoring goals.
I don't get this with. I mean, I think there's only. Have we scored the most in the league?
Yeah.
Yet we need a striker. I genuinely don't think anybody scored more goals than Pirot over the last 2.5 seasons.
I'm not as big.
I'm not saying he's an out-and-out number 9 who's going to. But I'm genuinely, if you look at his goals that he has scored over the last 2-3 seasons, there's nobody in the Championship who's scored more.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still not sure the manager's showing him. I don't think he is. I think that's why he keeps changing.
And this is where I said he's not going to come out and publicly hammer him, because I'm sure Farke last season said Pirot wasn't a 9 in one of his press conferences. Yeah, he's there now playing as a 9. I think the way we play allows him to come deep and link up play. I mean, you're forgetting what Pirot's on double digits already for goals.
Yeah,
and he hasn't started every game.
Yeah.
I'd be amazed if Pirot doesn't get to 20 goals this season.
We've scored 48 goals. Second in the standings is actually Middlesbrough, who've scored 43. Sunderland have scored 39. Sheffield 36. Burnley 31. I think the key statistic, Brownie, in that top ranking is Burnley, who have conceded 9 goals,
and they've had 7 0-0s.
Which is they're conceding a goal every 3 games.
Good thing for Leeds. with selling Rutter, Gray, and Somerville, nobody will leave during the transfer window, I don't believe. Whereas there's talk of people trying to get Trafford, there's talk of people trying to get Bellingham, there's talk of people trying to get Latte Laugh.
Yeah.
Out of the top teams, we're the only one who's not going to get weaker with outgoings, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What do you see from this weekend then? Comfortable win?
I'd like to think so, mate. We couldn't have handpicked a better tie, really. I remember going to Harrogate in pre-season. It was just like a training session, just attack, re-defence. Yeah, I can't even think Farke's biggest critic can see Leeds getting beat against Harrogate at home at the weekend.
Chris says Peru and Joseph are both two up top strikers. Play them both together, they'll have 20 goals each. Farke again, the problem.
Right, who comes out because you can't play 12?
I think I know who he's going to say. I think we can predict who we might say there. But in your mindset, do you think James and Aaronson need a little bit of a rest as well, Brownie? It looks like they're a bit empty at the minute in terms of the gas tank. Aaronson definitely.
Aaronson definitely. Not so sure on James. He didn't play at Derby, so it's not like he's played everything. Can't see him playing on Saturday, James. I think you'll see the likes of Joseph, Ramazani, maybe Nonto. He hasn't played too much. Joshua, Giorogi, Darlow.
You nailed that, mate. Well done.
I think I got that right then, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Debayo may play.
Yeah.
Charlie Crew, don't know if he's injured or what, but I think it could be pretty. Schmidt, there's another one. He's surely got to play. If he doesn't play against Harrogate, he may as well pack a bag and just go for a walk somewhere or something. But yeah, I can't see the likes of Ampadu, although he played Ampadu at Peterborough last season in the FA Cup third round. Remember going there and Ampadu played. Can't see Rodon playing. Strike, obviously he was not involved at Hull. Can't see him playing. They all are running out of players. Some of them are going to have to play out.
Yeah, some of them might, mate, yeah.
But yeah, I think it should be pretty straightforward.
What about going forward anyway? Sheffield Wednesday feels like that's a big game now, doesn't it? Really, really big game.
Again, I go into every game thinking Leeds will win it. That's how strong our squad is.
Yeah. You did mention you mentioned you felt a little bit more maybe susceptible at the start of the video, though. You kind of mentioned that you're a little bit more nervy now than maybe what you were. Is there anything to that?
Just I think the manner of the late goals we conceded against Blackburn in particular, that was a bit of a sucker punch. And then a few days later to go to Hull. And I mean, 3-1. Honestly, I can't describe how much of a cruise it was at 3-1. Genuinely, it could have gone 4-5-6 and people wouldn't have batted an eyelid. So I just think the manner of how we're just, chucking points away. I mean, every team can say, Sheffield United got beat at home to QPR at the end of the season. They were 2-0 up with 5 minutes to go at home to QPR and drew 2-2. So the other teams around us will say, we chucked points away there. We chucked points away there. So it does happen to every team, but we only focus on ourselves. But I just feel we should have a bigger cushion than we do. But this time last month, I think we were 5 points behind. Would we have taken, at this point, at the start of December, being top of the league by a point? We probably all would. When we were 5 points behind, we'd have said, come on, we'll swing it around, be top of the league and a point clear. I think it's come at a really good time to have a pause from the league.
Yeah, I think they need it, don't they? I think they need it. Do you know what's interesting as well? I was mentioning this and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. A lot of people haven't looked at this, but I mentioned it the other night. Leeds Preston, Oxford Leeds, Leeds Stoke, Leeds Bristol City, Plymouth Argyle. Do you know what the trend is there, Brownie? Do you know why I'm mentioning those 5 fixtures? Plymouth Argyle been the last one. Thought that I'd have given it away to you.
Plymouth they've got sacked the manager?
They are Leeds United's last 5 games. Okay, so Preston at home, Oxford away.
Oh, okay, yeah, right, okay, yeah.
Stoke at home, Bristol City at home, and Plymouth away. Now, I had a quick look. Sunderland have got Blackburn in there. Sheffield United, Burnley, 3rd to last game. Sheffield have got Stoke away as well, and they've got Blackburn in there as well. My theory is that if we're in contention, that top 3, if it goes down to it, which I think it will do, I'll be honest, I think it's going to be tight to the guy between the sticks. I genuinely believe that. But I think if it does get to a point of which it goes down to the last sort of 4 or 5 games, Leeds have got a real shooter's chance to go up, a big chance. We've got the favourable games of which we didn't really have last season. You know, you look at the likes of Southampton, you know, I think Sunderland came to Leeds late on last season as well.
Blackburn did as well, yeah.
Blackburn did,
I think I said this on the end of the last. I think we play Sheffield United away at the end of February, and then from then on in, it's a good 10, 12 nice fixtures.
Feels like a big period that though, doesn't it, Brownie? When you look at that Cov away with Lampard, obviously we've got Burnley 2 games before away from home, Watford away, Sunderland at home, Sheffield away, and West Brom at home. It feels like a bit of a pivotal 4 or 5 games, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think back to last year, Leicester, they were 17 clear of us, and we reeled them right back in.
Yep.
The team at the top, it's a tough league. Teams are gonna lose games of football, and they felt like defeats, but we still didn't lose. We still picked up. We still keep ticking away the points. We're still above 2 points a game. That still gets us to 92. I still see Leeds being in the top 2, and that running emphasises it even more. With we're normally quite poor at the final ends of the season. Like you said, we normally have got tough run-ins. Remember the last season in the Premier League, we had Man City, Newcastle, Tottenham. We normally seem to have tough periods towards the end, whereas I do see once we've been to Bramwell Lane, we've seen it earlier in the season. We saw it last year where we got, what was it, like 7, 8, 9 wins on the bounce. We'll just keep ticking off the wins. But it's pressurised, and it's more pressurised than it needs to be because of the points that we've chucked away.
Would you like to see Ramazani get a few more minutes? Maybe Nonto get a few more minutes? I think Ramazani.
I think he needs to play as well. I think he needs minutes. He came on. He started at
Derby, wasn't
it? Yeah, Derby also one of them. All the games seems to have made. He started with the one he started away over Christmas. I thought he was really poor. I thought he looked like he hadn't played for a long time.
Because he hadn't.
Yeah, so I think he really does need a game, because before he got injured, he looked unplayable. He looked
unbelievable, man.
So good. Looks so good. So it would be good to see him back involved. I just think it's just us as a fan base. We're so desperate to be in the Premier League, even though when we are in the Premier League, it's awful. But we're so desperate to be there. It's
a big club mentality, though, isn't it?
It is. And it's not. I'm not saying that's a wrong thing to have. We all want to be in the Premier League, and I think we want it that badly that we do. We all go into meltdown after things when games feel like we've been beaten.
Yeah,
we don't want to speak to anyone. We want to forget about football. And how many games we played now? 25.
Yeah, 25 or 26, I think. Yeah,
and we've lost 3.
Yeah.
Again, like I've just said, if you asked at the start of the season you're going to lose 3 games in 25, I think we're all saying, yeah, okay. I always try and see, like, step back and see a bigger picture. And it's very easy to say not too high when you win and not too low when you lose. But and I'm saying that we didn't even lose, we drew. It just felt like when you're scoring a penalty in the 88th minute at home, you should win. When you're 3-1 up away at Hull, who aren't having the best of seasons, you should win. So it just feels like we've just chucked 4 points away. And then when you put them 4 points on, you're looking and thinking, oh, God, we're 5 points clear here. But then would we know what to do with ourselves if we were 5 points clear?
What, you saying it just has to be tight with Leeds all the time?
When is it ever easy?
Yeah. I'll tell you when it was easy. It was that COVID season. That was nice, wasn't it? That was nice.
When there was no football for 3 months.
Yeah. But it was nice when we were after that Barnsley game. We beaten Barnsley 1-0 somehow. We beat Barnsley 1-0, and it was sort of easy street from then on. We just went on a bit of a run, didn't we? 4-0 against Charlton. Ben White scoring a worldie. And,
but Telly's right. It felt like a loss, and so did the Blackburn game. And I think that again emphasises how good we are as a team. That even when we're not losing, we're still deflated. We feel like we should be winning every game. because of how good we actually are. And I think people have forgotten that just because of the last two results. But we are a bloody good football team.
Do you not think everybody? Do you think everybody knows that, but they're more worried about the big anomaly in our team, who's probably not with the rest of them in terms of being a really good player / footballer. Maybe that's what it is. It's just frustration. I know it's from my end, mate. I know the team's good enough. I know it's good enough, and I know we are, in my opinion, the best team in the division. But I'm just worried about him. I can't. And do you know what, Brownie? He's. I saw a statistic, and you might have seen it, you might not have seen it, because I know your phone's been knackered. But on LAFC data, he put up a graphic, Chris Taylor, and he said, "My goals prevention is on minus 40 over the last 5 seasons. He just doesn't serve as points, mate, and it's more mistakes."
I think there's got to be a reason why when the ball goes near our goal, everybody panics in the crowd. I'm a nervous wreck when the ball gets played back to him.
Yeah, me too.
When the other team get a corner, I panic. Even though Blackburn was the first goal we conceded from a corner this season, I still couldn't believe that statistic.
Got some good keepers down there, haven't they, Brownie? Got some good keepers down National League.
Got some bad ones as well. There's a reason why us as a fan base have wanted a new keeper for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yep. We're not thick, are we? We're not thick fan base. We've watched it all. We've experienced it.
We're all very passionate and we all have our own opinions, but we tend to get a lot right collectively.
Yeah.
And there's a reason the keeper is a massive talking point. I did say last week that I don't think he's been as bad this season. I still stand by that, but that's because the other seasons have been that bad, that this season is not as bad, if that makes sense.
I think you just had too many away games. You had too many away games. You've been to too many games, mate. You just concussed from it all, I think. A Melier mistakes just like you getting a pie.
I remember last season when he got sent off at Preston, where he punched the guy in the face, and it was like, it was just accepted. It's like, oh, it's all right. It's
Melier.
Iceman. And there was like pictures of him flying. Like, what? No, he's just punched someone in the face and we've lost the game of football.
And then not only that, but he went back to Preston this season, and Papadopoulos let their first one in, which was just an absolute joke of a goal to concede. But yeah, Eddie, shout out to Eddie's fan of the channel. I don't know, it's 10 quid. He just says, "Great listening to you guys. You break the game and team down really well." Cheers, Eddie. That's a nice comment. Thanks, mate.
Who'd you go and get?
What keeper?
Yeah.
Christ.
Because we're all saying, and don't be clever with everybody going, anybody with a pair of hands. Like, who would you go and get realistically?
Just make me laugh. Someone in the chat, make me laugh. Make me laugh.
Because I'm seeing, like, before Christmas, I've seen links with people I'd never even heard of. And people going, oh, YouTube, yeah, it looks class. Everybody looks good on YouTube. Like, honestly, some of Dross we've signed, Habu Habide, or whatever he was called, he looked unbelievable on YouTube. He looked like the next Tony Yeboah. He came, honestly.
Lucas Radaby.
Yeah.
He's Steele from Brighton. I think would be a good shout on loan.
He plays.
It's more of a Bruggen now, isn't it?
But when he was at would he probably would, to be fair, if his second choice would come.
Matt's picture. I just zoned in on that picture. I didn't even realise. Can you see it?
Clown.
So Johansson, it's not a bad one. That sent me off that. Johansson, yeah, I mean, Stoke have got him. He can't go for more than 5 or 6 million, surely. Rushworth, to name another one. The Wheelstone Raider. Wurzel.
This is what I'm meant by anybody with a pair of wrists, pair of hands. I don't know. Do you know another part of me?
Mark Travers, I know Dr. Cox wants to get this one in.
Another part of me, and it is a gamble. It is a gamble. But due to PSR, they're trying not to spend. So when we do go up, there's a bigger pot of gold to spend. Because just put. He's still not got an excuse. Just put Darlow in. Mate, I'd have Klaassen in. I'd have Klaassen in right now. We ain't even got him anymore.
And that's what I mean. Not getting back.
Sod it. Put Paul Vini in. Put Paul Robinson in. Put Martin in.
Oh,
I don't know. I really hope Carl does well on Saturday. I can't imagine having a lot to do. I really can't.
Is there anything he could do do you reckon there's anything he could do to have a place for Wednesday? Do you reckon, even if he pulled off a couple of proper saves, kept a clean sheet, Leeds won 4 or 5-0, do you reckon there's anything he can do?
Cut holes in Melier's gloves. Take the fingertips off the top of them all. No, I genuinely,
Melier.
People won't like the sound of this, but Illan Melier is going to start against Sheffield Wednesday.
Do you know what? If you're Danny Roll and if you're Sheffield Wednesday, you're thinking set piece City, baby, set pieces. He's not going to be high on confidence. Put that ball on him. If we get the chance, just stick it on him. And that's the weakness, Brownie, because we shouldn't be having a conversation about Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday. Because look at what we did. I mean, he was in net, wasn't he? At least when we battered them at Hillsborough. But it just feels now his confidence is going to be even on a lower ebb to what it was back then. How
many clean sheets have we had this season?
13 or 14.
I mean,
well, what we've got to do then, the task is harder for our 10, because what we've got to do, our 10 players, just keep the ball away from him. That's what they've got to do. Possession in the other half. Don't let any attacks through. Just camp in the other half. And that's what they've done.
I was going to say, I'm not defending Melier, but we need to score more goals. I mean, we scored 3 at all, and he still found a way to let 3 go in.
Yeah.
See against Portsmouth, scored 3 then. Found a way to concede 3. It's just, I don't know.
I want to know what they see. I just want to see a sheet for them to tell me, because they're probably smarter people than I am, but all down there, coaches, analysts, statisticians. I just want them to tell me what they see, which I've not seen in 4 years. I just need to know. I need to know what they're seeing. Which, I mean, do you know what the worrying thing is? The worrying thing is, if they back him down there, the gaffer backs him. If they go into the Premier League with him again, just sign our relegation sheet already, mate. Just let us. I'll take a 10-point deduction. Just get us down. There is no point. I'll switch off for a year. You know what I mean? That's why I've started the second channel. It's just a little bit of, if they keep Melier in net, I've started a second channel. Just everyone go over there. That's what I'll do. Talk on other things.
Yeah, it's another talking point for the summer, isn't it? What they do, but not to sound like a Melier defendant. I think in the summer there's quite a lot of positions that will need an improvement on. To be honest, I just think the gulf's that big between Premier League and Championship that, Christ, I think we need a fair few players. But I mean, I don't even know how long's left on his contract or what. It could be a case where he moves on in the summer anyway.
Yeah. I thought Ren were going to get him. I thought Ren would do it, but they started signing Bryce Samba, which I thought was a really good deal, actually. Josh has become a new member. Shout out to you, Josh. Yeah, mate, anything else to say? Anything else to say on Leeds United and anything else? Thanks, Dr. Cox, for keeping me awake tonight. Appreciate that.
2026. So he's only got 18 months left anyway. So it could be a point where Leeds are looking to get him out.
I thought they would in this. I thought they would in this January. To be honest, I think this is the last month really where they can get a lot of money for him. We spoke about this last time, didn't we?
Yeah. We've got one of the best defenses in the league, though. It's just,
imagine if you had a bad defense.
The problem is that his mistakes are coming at such crucial times in games.
Ren were going to sign him, but they saw the whole highlights. Yeah,
I know. That's what I mean. They're coming at such crucial times in games, late on in games, where we can't rectify anything about it.
No. Yeah, can't do anything. All right, mate. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's lovely to have you on the channel again. Everybody always tunes in for Brownie coming on, which is always great, and it's always a good chat. Make sure you slapping a like on the video. If you don't follow Brownie on Twitter, he occasionally posts at Brownie_89. That gives you an indication of how old this old git is on my right-hand side.
Getting old, mate.
Getting old. You're still clinging on to that lovely blonde hair, though, mate. Don't worry about that.
You'll always have a good head of hair, I think.
There you go. He's doing well. All right, guys, make sure you slap a like. Head on over to the second channel, pinned link in the description as well. Just done a video tonight. If you want to head on over there and have a look and show your support for the channel, really appreciate it. Nearly 1,000 subscribers. Can you believe it? And we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.